I'm a little bit early, but screw it. We were waiting again for the stream to start, so I thought might as well go live and do a bit of chit chat till 10, and then we'll get into the main bits at 10 when we were scheduled to go live. Yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Interesting game week 13 for me so far. I don't have Gabriel or Saka, which has absolutely killed me. But there you go. Gurney, USF, top 10 travel, Billy, RTS, Beeble, checkmate. Good to see you all. Thank you for joining me. I hope your game weeks went well. Let me know how you guys got on. Let's talk about how we got on to begin things, eh? I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine if you show me yours. 24 points. 276k overall. So I guess rank could be worse. Salah captain, Palmer, Haaland and Rodgers all to play. I'm hoping Haaland does something this week. You know, I've got a feeling without Konate at the back for Liverpool, Man City and Haaland could do well. At least I'm praying that that's the case. So yeah, hopefully we get something there. I'm just going to make my screen a little bit bigger. There you go. 49 with 6 to play. Don't know what's happened there. That's absolutely massive, Billy. That's absolutely huge. Glenn, 50 points, 19k, Salah and Palmer to go. Love it. 89 points. Wow. Wow. He's just retracted the message. 61 points, Salah, Palmer, Lewis to play. Huge. Huge. Absolutely huge. I'm hoping Salah does something against Man City, although, to be honest, I reckon his ownership. You're the guy with 110 points, are you? Team's called Change Name. Saka triple captain. Kluivert and Evan Nilsson. Wow. Wish that was my team. Good to see you, Emma. I've got Salah captain, 75 points. Huge. Good morning, Uwe. Hello, Alex. I wanted to swap in Mbumo for Saka, but I said, let's wait for one more week since Brentford had a good fixture. I agree, man. I think keeping patience in Mbumo is worth doing. I really do. He could have got an assist yesterday, let's be honest. I'm going to keep hold of him myself. Going absolutely down the drain. Salah and Palmer still to play alongside others. Yeah, I think it's a reasonable shout. 79 points, 3 to play. Huge. I really need Haaland to deliver this week. I need Haaland to do something for me. Captain Pedro, because I thought I was cool. Never doing that again. Still got 50 points, mate. No plans to get Saka as it stands. I think I'm either going to have to do Palmer to Saka or just go without him. But I can't not have Palmer for those fixtures, you know. I think I'm just going to have to go without Saka, unfortunately. I've made my bed. I've made my Haaland bed, and I think I've got to lie in it at this point. There's only a matter of time, in my opinion, before Haaland comes good. It's only a matter of time. The XGI he's putting up is only going to come good. And Mbumo is going. Thing is with Mbumo, I was saying this on my Buy and Avoid video I just made. You know, people looking at his recent games, yes, he's not been performing. Okay, I understand. But is there really anyone around that price that you would prefer? Genuinely. Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea, Forest, Brighton coming up. RTS, man, you don't need to put those emojis after your messages. I see them all the time. Don't need to put those emojis after your message, man. Aston Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea, Forest, Brighton. I look at those fixtures and I just think, God, they're not that bad, are they? And you're buying Jared Bowen? I'm not too sure I'm that keen on Bowen. Or Gordon. I'm not that keen on them myself. I think Mbumo's better. None of those players are penalty takers, for example. You all know how good Mbumo can be, and he takes penalties, and he plays every game, every minute of every game. You know, I can see the I can see the draw towards other players, but for me, I think I'm going to keep hold of him. Beeble checkmate. I would not sell. I would not do that. I certainly wouldn't take a -4 to do Isak to Jackson if you can just play Rodgers next week. Yeah, Billy, I don't mind that. I think I would go, if you're buying Saliba, you may as well buy Timber and save yourself the cash. I don't mind Wood to João Pedro, but again, I look at Chris Wood, right? And I look at those next few fixtures he's got coming up, and on the face of it, they look challenging. But if you just think the form that these teams are in at the moment, right? Man City, could Chris Wood conceivably score against Man City? Yes. Could he conceivably score against Man United? Yes. Could he score against Aston Villa? Yes. Could he score against Brentford? Yes. Could he, all of those fixtures in my mind, apart from when we get to Liverpool, I'd back him to scoring. I genuinely think he could score in them. Excuse me. And as a Chris Wood owner myself, I'm actually finding it quite hard to justify selling him. I really am. Yeah, Leo, I'd sell him Wood and Mbumo for a hit. I just don't like it. I think Mbumo and Wood are fine. I've got to say, I think they're fine. It's just my opinion, though. If you disagree and want to do your own team, do what you like. But yeah, Solanke to Jackson for a -4. No, I wouldn't be taking hits for Jackson. He's got 4 yellow cards. You cannot be taking a hit, in my mind, for a player that's got 4 yellow cards. That's mental, in my opinion, mate. No offense. It's just my opinion, but I wouldn't be doing that. Oh, treble! I've still got Haaland, man. So I'm with you there. Ivan, honestly, I'm going to hold him, Bumo. The thing is, it's not worrying, Arav. It happens all the time. Salah, I think, did Liverpool back a few seasons ago, I think they scored, did they beat Southampton 9-0? I think they did Southampton 9-0, didn't they? And Salah wasn't involved in anything. Would you be worried about that? No, I'm just not that worried about him, Bumo. I trust him. I back him. And the thing is, unless you can afford to maybe upgrade him to Saka or Bruno Fernandes, someone like that, who is better than Mbumo? I don't have a gut feeling of a player around that price that's better. Genuinely, I don't. Unless you're going to super downgrade and save some money, I don't see it. It's just my opinion, though. Man, if you disagree with me on Mbumo, man, I totally respect your opinion. Here, my laptop's a bit laggy today, so the transitions are not working all that well. But here's my prediction for the games today, if anyone was interested. Thoughts on, yeah, well, there we go. 2-2 I've gone for. That's my score predictions for today. Oh, shoulders. Both shoulders are good now, mate. I've really worked hard on working out what caused them to have issues. I've been absolutely spamming rehab activities to fix them, and been working on trying to fix what has been causing them with stuff that I've been doing. So we're a lot better, thank you, mate. Doing a lot better. They're both good. I'm doing bench press again, overhead press with like dumbbells and barbells. I'm just not going heavy, and I'm swimming properly again, so we're all good. Music Smiley Star, I wouldn't pick any of them. I'd keep Mbumo. Genuinely, I keep Mbumo. Everyone's looking to sell Mbumo, aren't they? I'm not going to sell him. No, I wouldn't sell him. Madison's been dropped for multiple occasions this season. I wouldn't do Mbumo to Madison if it was me. I trust in the 90-minute man who's a penalty taker, genuinely. Good to see you, Paul. I appreciate your agreement on a scoreline. But yeah, I know I'm hardball on Mbumo. People might disagree with me, but I just don't see the desperation to get rid of him. Yeah, you can't get an assist if you win the penalty yourself. Best 8 players for attack the next period: Haaland, Salah, Palmer, Saka, João Pedro, Chris Wood or Cunha. I genuinely rank Chris Wood and Cunha around the same. Genuinely. And then that leaves, 2 more? I put Rodgers in there. If I was on a wild card, it wouldn't be too dissimilar to this. Genuinely, it wouldn't be too dissimilar to what my team looks like now. Thank you. I'm afraid I can't read your name in the alphabet that it's in, but I appreciate you saying great content. Good morning. This time, Porro in the team. Let's see. Saka more essential than Haaland. We will see, mate. Sorry, I should go on my point, shouldn't I? Let's see how Haaland does today, shall we? Let's see how Haaland does today. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to stick with him. I hope you're enjoying your mug and sticker. Here's mine. I had my coffee out of my mug today. It tasted fantastic. 68 points for Saka, captain. Huge. I did actually say, to be fair, which is interesting because it kind of goes against some of the logic I say in my videos, but I did actually suggest on my team selection video, if I had Saka, I'd probably captain him. I just thought he had the best fixture of the captain options. Like, of Palmer, Salah and Saka, I thought Saka had the best fixture. Yes, Simo, that is lucky. That is lucky. But you win some, you lose some in this game. Paul, 13 points from 4 players. It's not bad. It's only 4 players though, isn't it? How many have I had? I've had 6. 7 players. 24 from 7. Not great. By the way, Aina and Wood are absolute legends. My sticker is on my laptop that I make my videos with, for what it's worth. Not that that would work for you, I guess. Hang on, I'm going to go on Fantasy Football Hub. That's probably the way to go. By the way, happy December for everyone that celebrates Christmas. I've been so locked into training and YouTube and stuff, it completely passed me by and I forgot to get an advent calendar. Yeah, Evan Nilsson is underrated, but who do you get him in for? You know, who do you get him in for? And he's not on penalties. So I've got Chris Wood, and João Pedro here. Who do I get Evan Nilsson in for? I can't do it. There we go. We'll leave that on screen. 21 points from 6. 73 here. 3 to go. Had Moreno starting this week and he was benched. Yeah, that is annoying. I didn't realise he was benched. That is annoying. I had Aina. Got lucky with him, I will admit. Wisser, I wouldn't sell Wisser, mate. Why would you sell Wisser? I just don't get it. A lot of, what I would say is a general theme with a lot of comments I'm getting in the chat here. And I'm probably one of the more passive FPL players in the game. But a lot of people are looking to sell players that are actually decent for another one. It's almost like really luxury transfers. And I just don't like it. I think Brentford have really good fixtures. Like we just look at... Oh, not really good, sorry. I don't think the Brentford fixtures are all that bad. So everyone's hating on them. But until... I'd say from the 1st of January onwards, that's a fair shout to get rid. But the next 5 weeks, I don't actually think the fixtures are that bad. And even then, Brentford are good against, as Andy's just said in the chat, I think Brentford are good against the big teams. And you got, I don't know, the next 5 fixtures, they're not playing the best defences. So Aston Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, Brighton, right up until New Year's Day, I think they could score in all of those games. So I'd just be hesitant. And then Brentford have been like really good from an attacking perspective this season. Really good. That's a big one, David, isn't it? That is a big one. I think, honestly, mate, it's a boring answer, but I think it all comes down to captaincy. And it's the one that you would captain the least. So if you look at those 4 players on a little matrix of times you would captain them and exclude the one you wouldn't captain, it's probably Haaland, isn't it? But I quite like Haaland. I quite like him. Gee whiz on 73 points. Absolutely huge. Lucas, I've been having a horrendous time since I wildcarded in 12. 55 points and now only 31 with 5 to play. You win some, you lose some in this game, mate. Virat Kohli, I literally replied to your comment this morning saying, don't sell Mbumo. Definitely not for a hit. I don't know. Am I mad? Am I mad for suggesting that I wouldn't sell Mbumo? I'd just keep him. Agree on Wissa. I think Wissa's great. I think he's great. I don't think his minutes are quite as good as Mbumo's, but you pay less for him. I think he's great. And you can I just wouldn't be surprised to see Mbumo score next week against Villa. Like, Villa are not the most solid defence. Definitely not. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mbumo score. And total respect to Graham. Oh, sorry, I think his name's Graham, is it? Gwiz, who sold him. But, you know, that's 1 week of variance where they don't do very well. And then, yeah, but Matoma, like, can you guarantee his minutes over the busy festive period? I think Mbumo is one of the most nailed-on players in the entire league. So for me, I'm going to stick with him. And he probably does start all the games, does Matoma, but yeah. Bowen and João Pedro. Yeah, Bowen's decent, but again, he doesn't take penalties. I don't think he does anyway, so I just don't think he's better than Mbumo. Good win yesterday. Indeedly, I'm very happy with that. Were you partaking in the Wayne Rooney shouts as well? It was quite fun. I agree, Andy. I think there's no doubt in my mind that Brentford score in that game. No doubt in my mind. And like, if Mbumo, because I know the assist was a bit dodgy, right? But if Mbumo got the assist for that goal, would your opinion be different? Would you still be looking to sell Mbumo if he got that assist today and says 5 points next to his name? Because it's such fine margins. You know, I'm keeping him. What about Wood and Raul Jimenez? Well, I sold Raul Jimenez for João Pedro because the prices were going to change too much. I also think Raul's fixtures get a bit tough, so I would consider selling him. But I'm finding it hard to get rid of Chris Wood, I must say. Love you, Fernandez. You're looking at 2 games, a 2-game sample size. That's not enough for me to sell him. Just my opinion. I totally respect you if you want to get rid of him, but my opinion is that, yeah, we're saying Mbumo's rubbish, but that is over a relatively small sample size, I think. Hello, Sally. Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Mbumo against Villa or Bruno against Arsenal? Well, yeah, you've got to go Mbumo, haven't you? I made Captain Cunha. Unlucky man. I was saying this in all of my videos, but I wasn't saying Cunha was a bad option. I was just questioning how long he could continue his outrageous scoring form, because half of his goals this season have been absolute screamers from outside the box, and I just didn't think that was sustainable. And I think that showed in Game Week 13. Yeah, love you, Fernandez, but there's a shout that will change and he'll play up front as Brentford go back to a 3 at the back. I think the Brentford system could change game on game, to be honest. It's really hard to make calls on captaincy yet when we haven't seen Salah play this week, I think. Yeah, offside footy. I'm thinking about getting rid of Flecken too. It's just such slim pickings, isn't it, around that price? It's such slim pickings. I'm thinking of going Sanchez, though. I think Sanchez is probably the best replacement. I just look at those Chelsea fixtures. There's a Tottenham one mixed in, isn't there, which is a bit tough. But I look at those Chelsea fixtures there, and I think probably best to have him there. Eight Nori's just in there, mate. I've got decent replacements if I need to. I'm not too worried about Eight Nori. What about Palmer? Yeah, decent. Again, I am a little bit hesitant to go big on captaincy yet. Talk about captaincy without seeing all the players play this week. Lewis to who would you suggest? I did Lewis to Colwill, mate, because, again, I'll go back to those Chelsea fixtures. The one thing you want over this busy period of football is a player that's going to play every game. And I looked at all the alternatives to Rico Lewis. You've got, Lewis Hall, Kirkes. Kirkes is probably decent, actually, to be fair. I know he scored this week, not getting carried away with that. Lewis Hall. Who was the other one I was looking at? Obviously, 8 Nori, but he's on 4 yellows. There was another one I was looking at as well. Oh, Luca Dean, like one of the Villa defenders. And I just thought, none of these guys I can back to play every game. And then you look at the 4.5 million sort of defenders who you'd naturally replace Lewis with. I just look at Colwill as the one that's probably going to play all the games. And fixtures-wise, they got some really decent fixtures in there. So I think I'm just going to stick with Colwill. I think I'm just going to stick with Colwill. Best Canate replacement. I go Timber if you can get to Timber. I think Timber's going to be a good option. I went for Timber, as you can see. Should have bought Gabriel, I know, but I went for Timber to save myself a bit of cash. Hello, Antonio. Good to see you. Ben, I forgot to reply to your text yesterday. I remember you sent me that. I was in the ground typing a reply, and then one of the goals went in, and I celebrated and forgot to send it. I remember it exactly. Plymouth were the worst team I've seen play at Ashton Gate since I've started going. Genuinely, they were horrific. Horrific. Also, I give a shout to Lewis Dunk as well. Though he didn't start in Gameweek 13, which is a little bit of a put-off. He's another one that's just going to play all the games. I'd rather play in Bumo because he's on penalties. I would. I'd rather play in Bumo. That might be a stroke of luck there, Andy, if your Palmer has stayed on Salah. If your captain stayed on Salah. Sally, I've been talking about that quite a lot this stream in terms of Mbumo and Wissa, and I keep hold of them. Someone else just asked, is Mbumo a sell? Terry, I just answered your question. I play Mbumo. Take care, Uwe. Yeah, I would. I'd stick with Wissa. I think Wissa's great. I wouldn't do the move, especially not for a hit. I think a hit is a bit crazy, to be honest. Again, I'll just go back to these Brentford fixtures. Everyone's saying they're tough, whatever. I don't think they're actually that bad. Villa have been conceding goals. Newcastle have been conceding goals. Chelsea, definitely not the most solid defence. Forest, that's probably the toughest fixture of the 5, to be fair, but it's at home. Brentford really good at home. And then Brighton, like, I could see Brentford scoring in all of those games. Terry, you asked me for my answer, mate. Yeah, I gave you my answer, bro. 6 overall has Salah bench. That is crazy. Yeah, I don't mind that, Mohamed. If you can do Mbumo to Saka, I can't really argue with that. I think that's a great move if you can do it. I think that's a great move. Do people see my logic here with Mbumo and Wissa? I know, I completely respect if you're looking to sell them, because there is justification for doing it. I'm not going to deny, Mbumo has not been in great form recently. You could argue their fixtures get tough, but I think there's also a really good counter argument that they're both really good players. They can score against pretty much anyone. I just think they're going to be good, and their fixtures aren't actually that bad. My day with Wazza was fun, mate. We won 4-0. So I had a good day. I'm be surprised if he made it through the weekend without getting sacked. Another one asking me if I should sell Mbumo. I think if you can do Mbumo to Saka, I would do it. But Mbumo to anyone else, I'd be a little bit put off by. Do you really want... I think Bowen's a fantastic player. But do you really want to buy him with how West Ham have been playing? I don't think he's on penalties either. I think Mbumo's the pen taker. Sorry, Mbumo is a pen taker. I wouldn't do it. I'd keep Mbumo. I'm going to get absolutely destroyed on Mbumo's value, aren't I? But I just can't justify getting rid of him. Mohammed, I literally just answered your question, mate. Definitely. I would do that. I literally just answered it, mate. I got Jackson for Isak. Is that a good choice? He's on 4 yellow cards. Nigel, I would... If it depends. Who would you replace him with? Because if you've got an obvious replacement in mind, just do it. Just do it. Exactly. Crazy. If you're bringing in Jackson, that's a crazy move. It's a crazy move. Brentford's fixtures aren't that bad. I don't think they are. They don't. The two fixtures you wouldn't want to play him for is Arsenal and Liverpool. And admittedly, he's got all of those games from January the 1st. But, I mean, Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea, Forest, Brighton. Forest is the tough, in my mind, that's the toughest fixture of the 5. I think he could score in all of those games. I really do. I respect your opinion, Dan, but I don't think those fixtures are that bad. I really don't. And the thing is with Mbeumo, I just don't see an obvious alternative. Yeah, I wouldn't back Brentford defensively, but they don't really have any issues scoring goals. Would you take a hit? It depends, Badman Khaled, what a great name. It depends who you've got on your bench that could come in. Who should I sell, Bruno or Mbeumo to Saka? You can't really draw that conclusion. Stop spamming the chat, man. You've already typed that twice. I wouldn't do it yet because you haven't seen Bruno play. Unless you're going up to Saka or so. Yeah, I agree. I think Saka, that's it. Bro, I've just answered your question. You put it in 4 times. You put it in one more time, I'll ban you from the chat, mate. You don't need to spam like that. I have Saka, Palmer, Salah, Palmer, Saka, Rogers, Johnson, Raul, Cunha, João Pedro. Which one to change and to whom? Wouldn't sell any of them. Raul Jimenez, maybe, because the fixtures get tough. But other than that, no, wouldn't do it. Yeah, FPL FOMO totally makes sense. Any news on these? I haven't seen anything other than him being subbed off early. I would imagine he's out for at least a couple of FPL game weeks, because obviously we've got a deadline on Tuesday and then next weekend. So I'd suggest he's going to be out for 2 game weeks, and that's just him gone, in my opinion. Adam, I've been talking about Mbeumo for all stream long, and I wouldn't get rid of him. I wouldn't get rid of him. I wouldn't get carried away with... that's all right, bro. I wouldn't get carried away with West Ham defenders. I wouldn't get carried away with West Ham defenders. Their manager's going to get sacked, I think. They hopefully play the next match. Blimey. I will be doing a quiz. Actually, you know what? That's a fair question. Would anyone like to do a quiz? We've got a Game Week 13 themed quiz. Anyone wants it? You know what? A quiz? Huge from FPL guy. Between 8 Nori and Mikolenko, who's better? I'll go 8 Nori. Jess wants the quiz. Nixie wants the quiz. All right. Hopefully I've copied the slides across. I'm usually a bit terrible for that. I haven't even checked, to be fair. My laptop crashed this morning. I didn't check. There we go. We're all good. I don't usually review teams on the reaction streams, mate, because how can I tell someone transfers to make when half the team still haven't played? So who is the top scoring player in Game Week 13 so far? Oh, there's loads of different answers for this one, isn't there? Answers are rolling in. Sorry, my phone was buzzing like crazy then. I just put it on Do Not Disturb. The answer, Kevin Is it Sharda? Shard? Shade? Shade. I'm going to call him Shade. It's not Shade, but it's Shade. So well done, everyone got that. A few people put Saka. A few people put Kluivert. But it's Sharda. There you go. I can't even speak this morning. We'll have a look at Rob T FPL fixtures in a sec, mate. Appreciate that. Bro, I don't know what happened with my speech then. We got another guess the player question. Who do we think that is? Does anyone know who that is? $47 points. Larson, Aina, Saka, Masterclass, Captain, João Pedro, though. It is what it is, man. I'm hoping Salah goes huge. No offense. No clue. He looks like a midfielder, left / right back. That's like half the team, mate. Could be Trippier, mate. Who knows? Could be anyone. It does look... I will say it's definitely not Martial, but it does look a bit like Martial, doesn't it? All right, the answer is Timber. Well done, everyone that said Timber. I got absolutely done by Timber this week. I brought him in instead of Gabriel. Poor move from me. Poor move. Right. Question number 3. So, we established that he wasn't actually the top scoring player this week. Oh no, I've got a stain on my jumper. Anyway. But how many points did Saka score? He wasn't the top scorer, as we established. But do you know how many points he actually scored? I'm going to have to change my jumper. That's annoying. Cheers, love. Appreciate that, man. No one saw that. I didn't get the water in my mouth then when I had a drink. That was horrendous. That's going to be clipped, isn't it? Brilliant. The answer, we're going to forget about that. The answer is 18. Well done, everyone that said 18 points. Good morning, Laura. Good to see you in the chat. I'm very well, thank you. I hope you are too. Could have been more if it wasn't his... Yeah, I feel quite lucky that he gave that penalty away. Someone's put Porro. It's not Porro, mate. Keep trying. All right. One more guess. One more guess the player. Who's that? Who is that? Have you seen a pigeon yet? I haven't actually seen a pigeon yet today. I live in a city, so it's quite surprising that I haven't seen a pigeon, but I haven't. I need to... Ooh, it's exciting. I've got November on my calendar at the moment, so I need to change my calendar over. Bear with. It's my Glastonbury Festival calendar. This is a picture of the pyramid stage, where I probably was. Got nothing. Can you believe? It's the last month of 2024. No, it's not a basketball player. I do sort of follow the NBA, but no, it's not a basketball player. He does have a big old neck, this guy, though, doesn't he? It's Justin Kluivert. Justin Kluivert, for anyone that was wondering. Obviously got a hat-trick of penalties. Could you imagine that? Hat-trick of penalties. I'm on 24 points at the moment, mate. LFC, I can't explain it, mate. I've no idea. I think it's around the fact that the pass wasn't intended for the goal. It wasn't intended for the player that scored, but it's crazy. All right. The final question. We always do one of these. This is a similar theme to... I literally just answered your question, Cursed Epic. How many goals have been scored so far in Game Week 13? I usually get my maths wrong on this question because I do it late at night just before I go to bed. So, yeah, we'll see. How many goals were scored this week? He does look like his dad, doesn't he? Funny that. Some guesses coming in. Yeah, you got to do your revision for this quiz, man. I think I went too low. What did you guess? 16. Not going to say. The answer is 23. I hope it's 23. We'll add them up together. And if I'm wrong again. So we got 2 in the first game. 5. That's 7. 9. 10. 16. 23. I have a general distrust for my maths now as a result of getting all those questions wrong. Here's how my team did, for anyone wondering. I've still got four players to go. Rodgers, Palmer, Salah and Haaland. Haaland is my differential this week. I've kept the faith in him. Obviously, Saka just absolutely smashed it. So if Haaland can get anywhere close to Saka's points total, I'd be very happy. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm just going to have a look at live FPL a second. And then we've got Rob T FPL's data as well. We're going to have a quick look at his data. Bear with. I'm just going to just go on Twitter and have a look. He's already cracked it in, look. The absolute legend. Projected goals, clean sheet odds. We'll zoom in a little bit. There you go. So, best teams for goals. Everton projected to score 1.65 goals. Interesting. Arsenal, 2.2. Liverpool, 1.95. Fulham, 1.65. Man City, 2.5. Chelsea, 2.4. Villa, 2.0. Bournemouth, Tottenham, both teams projected to score. Best teams for clean sheet odds. Everton, 31%. Interesting. That's interesting. Liverpool, only 27. Arsenal on 40. Man City on 46. Don't know. I think Chris Wood's going to score. I hope Chris Wood's going to score on that one. Chelsea on 36. Villa on 29. Yeah. Chris Wood. They haven't heard of Chris Wood. The absolute legend that is Chris Wood. Go back to my team. We're going to look at something else, weren't we? Oh, yeah, live FPL. Just going to see who my... if I've got any more info about my team that I can find in there. Bear with. It's useful, live FPL, to see who my my danger threats are. Huge, Andy. That's a good fact. David's still selling in Boomer. That's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough. I just don't... I don't have a player that I can sell him for, really. Don't buy Jackson, mate. So you're saying this week you're gonna buy him unless he gets a yellow, But then you're going to be like, next week you're still going to think, oh, I'm going to buy him unless he gets a yellow. You know that unless he gets a yellow is going to it's going to be on your mind all season. I would avoid a player on 4 yellow cards personally. Come on, live FPL. You went to see the Newcastle match. What did you think? I already have Cunha and João Pedro. Oh, I see. Your alternative. Strand Larson, Wissa, Raul Jimenez. Those are the other 3, I think. Yeah, loading's going well here. A lot of people must be on it. Great match, but lucky goal by Crystal Palace. Fair enough. Do you think Jackson can go 5 game weeks without 4 more game weeks without a yellow? I don't know. Right, here we go. Saka's killed me. You can see how much of a red arrow you got from a player's points, right? Saka, 140k red arrow as a result. Gabriel, a 39k red arrow. Chris Wood, absolutely huge. João Pedro, well, I don't know. Aina was probably my big differential this week so far. Yeah, he was my star man. Big game from Aina. You know what? That Raul Jimenez to João Pedro transfer is going to kill me, isn't it? Raul Jimenez is scoring this week. I actually, you know, on genuinely on Timber's minutes, I thought that they'd actually be a positive. So with Ben White being injured, I just think he plays every game. And if you're worried about his minutes, I actually think he's going to get some early subs which lock in a clean sheet as opposed to like the other way around. I really do. Because you look at a lot of his subs this season, they've all been after 60 minutes. So I'd be... I think they've got a chance of... he's got a chance of getting early subs that lock in a clean sheet. So I actually think it could be a positive. Did anyone get any good Black Friday deals this weekend, by the way? I'm being absolutely launched some adverts my way at the moment. I didn't actually buy anything on Black... Oh, actually, I did. I bought some stuff. I'm not going to share because it's Christmas presents that people don't know about. But I got some stuff. Yeah, Rodgers and Haaland is my differentials. I don't think that's not a bad place to be, is it? Alex, huge mate. I'm very pleased that you agree with my analysis. An electric toothbrush. Magic, mate. 3 KFC zingers for €9. That's incredible. Had 4 teeth out. That's hardcore, man. I'm not going to sell Mbumo, mate. Not going to do it. Fingon needs defensive options. I would go Timber. Colwill. Yeah. Maybe Man United. Saw a Chris Wood 2025. I'm going to have to buy a Chris Wood 2025 calendar, aren't I? What a legend. Yeah, Laura, I would go for Timber. I'd go for Timber. Yeah, Saliba is safer, but he's also 0.5 million more expensive. No. I don't think it's a good move, Ben, because the next fixture for Bruno Fernandes is Arsenal. So I just wouldn't do it. And Mbumo against Villa versus Mbumo. Bruno versus Arsenal. Yeah, I'd double up on the Arsenal defence, mate. They're the best defence in the league for the last 2 seasons. I'd double up on them. Could have been very different, couldn't it, Jimbo the Daddy? If Timber scored, hey ho. You need a miracle. I need a miracle from Salah too, mate. Mbumo to Bruno is bad. You need to do Mbumo to Bowen. Yeah, I just wouldn't do it. I don't think there's much between the 2 players, genuinely. When would you get Wood back if you don't have him? Yeah, maybe. I'm just not thinking of selling Chris Wood. I think if your only alternative to Isak is Jackson, I would keep Isak. It looks like he could be back next week. Yeah, but I don't think Vongspawn that's going to continue every game. I have 7 points with 6 left to play. Jeez, that's rough, man. I wish you the best. I need Salah to be quiet today, even though I own him. Yeah, I need him to go absolutely mental, which I think he could do. The 2 players I'm worried about this week are the 2 players that I sold. So I sold Raul Jimenez and Guardiola. I think one thing that's also underrated about Mbeumo is that he plays every game for 90 minutes. And I think over this really busy Christmas period that we're about to go in, you want a player that you can guarantee is going to play for every minute. And he takes penalties. Mbeumo, I know he's not been great in the last 3 or 4 games, but he just ticks all the boxes of a good FPL player. He plays every game, 90-minute man, takes penalties. I don't think that's something you can say about Mitoma. I just don't. I think Brighton have enough options in their team that he could be benched on some occasions. I'd probably back Mbeumo over Wissa, yeah. I think there's more points. Oh, that's a difficult one. Because the thing is with Aina, I know he's got relatively tough fixtures coming up, but Forest are probably one of the best defenders in the league. So I would like to keep Aina in my team just as a bench option. I reckon there's someone else in your team that you could replace with Timber instead of Aina. Similar to me, I don't want to get rid of Aina. I agree on Maddison. I would just struggle to bring him in with the fact that he's missed games. I don't know about Foden, mate. I have no idea. What do you guys think about Foden? Do you think he'll become a good player this season? Be a good option this season? I don't know. Thank you very much for saying you love the channel. I love Graham Hancock too, man. I think Graham Hancock's a legend. If Enzo Fernandez performs today, I could buy him. We'll see. Out of Mbeumo, Isak, Lewis, who is a priority transfer out? I don't think any of them really. If you can bench Lewis, I just keep him. And we look at the clean sheet odds. I'll just pull them up a second. I guess Lewis has got to go as if he's not nailed, I suppose. That's the reason you'd sell him. Not because you don't think he can score points when he plays. But you look at clean sheet odds. Man City are the best, which is crazy. Thank you, Top 10 Travel. I appreciate that. It's just, yeah, I appreciate it, mate. What can I say? That's very kind. I'm humbled by that. Foden at his price and performances, I would agree. No clean sheets next week, in my opinion. We shall see. I don't think City have any issue scoring goals, but I do think Forest will give them a really tough game. Oh, you can't. I completely see it, Andy, but I can't be making those kind of transfers. Like selling Dibbling, who's on your bench anyway. I just wouldn't do it. I've got him. I'm just going to keep him. He's got his ban. I don't care. He's just going to stay. Let's look at this screen. What do you think of Wood and Mbeumo? Nah, I hate it, mate. I absolutely hate that. Sorry. I do. I don't like it. I don't like it. I look at Chris Wood as well. I'd put the same argument for Chris Wood as I would against Mbeumo. Sorry to be brutally honest with my opinion there. That was a bit harsh, wasn't it? Feel free to unsubscribe if you didn't like that. But I look at those Chris Wood fixtures. Yeah, would you be surprised to see Chris Wood score against Man City, Man United, Villa and Brentford and Spurs and Everton? No. I'm finding it really hard to get rid of him. I want to get rid of him to Cunha, but no, I've had him Bumo since the very start. I bought him for like 7 million, I think. So I'm not worried about his price dropping. And the thing is, I just don't have a replacement for him. There's not a player that I'm absolutely desperate to get in for him. Yeah. Well, yeah, I could get Saka in, but how? Like, I want to keep Haaland. I just don't see a way to get him in. I get you, Andy. I get you, mate. I get you. Do you think Isak will start against Liverpool? Potentially. But then would you want to play him against Liverpool? Alex sold in Bumo. What are your thoughts after doing that, mate? Are you worried about him, or do you feel better for it? I'm interested in your third overall opinion there, mate. No, mate. Fingon, I don't like that. Fast to Timber makes sense, but selling Raya to buy Timber for a hit is just... I think that's a silly move, to be honest, mate. I think you're looking for transfers for the sake of it, and you don't need to do it. If you're not sure about what transfer to make, don't make a transfer. Yeah, Ahmad could be interesting, couldn't he? We'll see on Ahmad. I completely agree on those luxury transfers, by the way, in December. Could do Mbumo. If you can do Mbumo to Saka, I would do that. That's probably the easy replacement. Let's see what's up with Isak. I'll help you guys out. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Isak injury is what Twitter's saying. It's a contact issue. We hope he'll recover. I just think if you have if you just think, I'm just thinking about how this kind of injury would impact me, right? If you took a really hard hit in a football game on Saturday, and you had a massive bruise on your hip to the point where you couldn't really walk properly, right? Just think this is you, right? This is a professional athlete who can get injections and stuff, to be fair. This is you. You've had a bit of a knock. You're struggling to walk. You don't want to play on. And that was on Saturday. And you're playing Liverpool on Wednesday. And you've got Callum Wilson, who is fit and ready to go. Do you think he's going to play? That's kind of my analysis. Because you don't have any info yet. This is ex-physio's view. Yeah, I think he'll recover quickly, but I don't think he'll play against Liverpool. I would hedge on that. Especially when they got Wilson back. I think they won't take a risk. So that's that. What else? What was the other question? Yeah, just roll your transfer thing on, mate. Don't be doing any rash transfers. Where was the question? I've lost the question I was answering. Oh, has he not had problems with his hip before? I think, regardless of whether you had problems with your hip before, I think you can take an impact injury everywhere, to be honest, mate. I wouldn't look too much into it. But if we look at Isak, because if you go on transfer marks, you can see injury history. So if we go, here we go. Here's Isak on transfer mark. I'll round off the video just by doing a review of the games as well. Where's injury record? Stats, is that it? Injury history, there it is. So this is Isak's injury record. So no, he's not had hip problems before by the looks of it. He's struggling with groin and leg issues, knee problems, but not a hip injury. Hi Keith, good to see you. I agree on Isaac. Yeah, I would bench him rather than sell him. I think that makes sense. Yeah, sorry, Rat Dog. I saw your question. I was just answering someone else's then. Son to Saka. I think that's probably worth it, actually. If you guys could do it, would you do Son to Saka? See what the chat thinks. I would probably do that if it was me. Reluctantly, I think I would do it. I don't think Son is on the same level as Saka. I don't think he is. I think Saka's much better. I'd probably do that. I agree, Paul. Should we have a look at the game so far then, as a reaction? We already reacted to the Brighton-Southampton one on the deadline stream, so I'm going to not going to talk about that. Brentford-Leicester then. Leicester obviously sacked their manager last week, lost 4-1 to Brentford. A hat-trick from Sharda. Wissa with a goal. Buonanotte. 4 goals for Brentford, no return for Mbumo. People might be a bit worried about that. I'm not worried. Assist for Collins. Collins? He's putting up some mad numbers. So Collins has got 5 attacking returns from 13 starts this season. He is one of the top defenders in the league for expected goal involvement. In the whole league. Interesting. Damsgaard with an assist and Shard with an assist. So 3 goals and an assist for him. What a crazy game week. That's about it really. Max bonus for Sharda, as you'd expect. 2 bonus for Wissa. Buonanotte with the 1 bonus. He's a pretty good option, but I'm not sure I would go for him. Palace and Newcastle. Munoz with a goal. I think Munoz actually put up, very good stats in that game. 0.87 XGI. I think he could have scored a couple goals based on what I saw of him. Gahey with the assist for that. Obviously scored the own goal as well. So he's ended on, 3 points. Okay. Gordon with an assist for that own goal for Newcastle. Probably it really. Nothing too much in there. Forest, very happy with the clean sheet there against Ipswich. Another goal for Chris Wood. So we look at Chris Wood. 9 goals from 12 starts so far this season. 9 goals from 12 starts. Fixtures. I think he could score in all of those fixtures coming up. And then we just look at Chris Wood's season history as well. So if you just count this up. So last season he got 14 goals from 20 starts. This season he's got 9 from 12. So you add that up. That's 23 goals from 32 Premier League starts. 23 goals from 32 starts is that's exceptional. And with the form that Man City, Man United are in at the moment, I wouldn't rule out him being able to score in those games. And then Villa and Brentford, I think he could score there too. It's going to be really hard for me to sell him. Max bonus for Wood, 2 bonus for Aina, another clean sheet for Aina as well. Very happy with that. That's that game. And then we had Wolves and Bournemouth, a hat-trick of penalties for Kluivert. 3 assists for Evan Nilsson. He's a pretty decent option, to be fair. There's just so many good cheap strikers, aren't there? Kirkes with a goal. I think he's looking like a pretty decent cheap defender. 2 goals for Strand Larsen. On my Buy and Avoid video I made yesterday, which is up now, you can check it out when this stream finishes, I did a little comparison between Strand Larsen and Cunha. And I didn't see a whole lot between them, particularly when you consider the price difference between the two. I think Strand Larsen is a very decent option and arguably comparable with Cunha. The only thing that does kind of put me off is his massive overperformance of his XG. 6 goals from 2.9 XG, but then Cunha is a massive overperformer as well. So just that. And then the crazy Arsenal-West Ham game is probably going to take us the most time to talk about, isn't it? Goals for Gabriel, Havertz, Odegaard, Saka, Trossard, Wan-Bissaka and Emerson, the 2 fullbacks with goals for West Ham. 3 assists for Saka, goal and assist for Gabriel, goal and assist for Trossard, Paqueta and Solo with assists too. 3 bonus went to Saka, 2 to Trossard and 1 to Odegaard. And then today we got Chelsea, Villa. I'll do my score predictions. Were my score predictions any good? I'll tell you what, as score predictions go, then they're not too bad. I don't know. You guys, I think my predictions were fairly good. They're not too far off. they're not too far off. I think if Wolves didn't concede 3 penalties, I'd be pretty close with that. Yeah, I'm happy with those score predictions. I think they're fairly reasonable. Where'd you get that I have Pickford in goal from? I don't have Pickford in goal, mate. I got Flecken. I got even worse. Oh, you've got Flecken in goal. Oh, I do apologise. Sorry, mate. Tom, I also don't think you can say that the best decision was to captain Saka yet, because you don't know how other people are doing. Nice one, Alex. Hey, man, you got to keep playing your own game. I think, I have no experience of being at your rank. So to offer advice to you feels a bit dodgy, but just keep doing what you're doing, mate. And don't let people get in your head about transfers you're not sure about. That's the way to win FPL, is you've got to be slightly ahead of the crowd in terms of players that people are buying. Like being slightly ahead of the crowd on Arsenal defence last week would have paid off for you. Being slightly ahead of the crowd on Saka would have paid off for you. Slightly ahead of the crowd by captaining Saka would have been, you know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff. I agree on, by the way, I think Pickford and Onana will be the 2 top scoring keepers this season. And next week they've both got horrible fixtures, but I'd still pick them. Sorry, over the next 2 or 3 weeks they've both got horrible fixtures, but I'd still pick them. I think they'll do well against anyone. Because they'll make saves. They'll just do really well. I'm going to tell you what the roast is today, animations. See what my dad messaged me saying. Slightly ahead of the crowd selling Mbumo. Or you could be slightly ahead of the crowd by keeping him as well. You know, you could flip the logic. I actually don't know what the roast is today. We'll find out. We had turkey last week. Is it worth getting João Pedro in for Raul Jimenez next week or Gabriel for Robertson? I don't think you can answer that question because they haven't played yet. You can't answer that until they've played, mate. Alex, absolutely, man. And I think from a mental perspective as well, it's better to, if you were, and I'm not saying you are, but in the reality that it doesn't go your way, if it doesn't go your way, but you made the transfers you wanted to make, then that's a good way. You know, die on your own sword. I get that. I'm with you there. Do you know what the secret to handling FPL stress is, Tom? Just having other things going on that you can distract yourself with that's not FPL. Put the phone down, put your laptop down, do something else. That's the secret. For me, it sounds counterproductive, but when I've had enough of FPL, rather than focusing on my own team, I make an FPL video that's not about my team, and that really helps. You got to be studying, man. Well, I guess I'm not in too bad of a position, but I for my first year of A levels in college, I played NBA 2K for the entirety of when I should have been revising, and I got 1E and 1U in my exams as a result of that. The U that I got, I'd never had done well in maths. I hated it, but I could have done a lot better in other ones. Do I regret it though? I don't think my life would have turned out too much differently if I did well or not, to be honest, in those exams. But there you go. Do you think Greaves will start? Possibly. I saw Alex's comment about captaincy there. You can't tell me that Saka's the best captain yet before other players have played. You just can't do that yet. You got 201 people in the stream right now. By the way, I haven't asked this yet. I've been live for nearly an hour and I haven't asked this yet. How many likes have we got on the stream? I can't actually see how many likes we have. But if you haven't already liked the stream and you're enjoying it, please like the stream. Come on, we got 200 people here. Like the stream. Give us a like. Subscribe to the Golden Goal channel if you haven't already. Give us a like. Come on. One button. Very easy to do. 51. Keep liking, guys. Come on. Let's get up to 75 likes. Give us a like. You can subscribe, join the chat. I'm pretty good at reading the chat. I don't get every message. Depends on how busy it is. But I think I'm pretty good at reading the chat. So if you subscribe, you can get in the chat. Video games are such a distraction. So I've turned to a better video game and I play FPL and make videos about it now. But yeah. Without, I'm not going to go too deep. I was going to go big with some like philosophizing about life advice and stuff, but it's FPL. It's an FPL video. I don't need to do that. But if anyone was interested, I can go monologuing. Paul, I appreciate that, my friend. That's very kind of you. The only reason I captained Saka is that in February, Arsenal played versus West Ham, won 6-0, Saka got 15 points. Fair enough. Hey, we try and answer all the questions, man. Why not? I do skip over some if they're the same as like the message previously. Yeah. As a City fan, I reckon 1-4. We'll see. I don't know if Jess is still in the chat. She's a City fan. She's plotting their downfall, I think, from what she's been saying to me. But yeah, I've gone. I'm not on the solo. I'm on the solo screen. I've gone 2-2. Hi, I have Palmer, Saka, and Salah. Would you go in Mbumo to Son or just roll to downgrade him later on to try and bring in Haaland for Isak? I'm struggling to read that. Hang on. I've got Palmer, Saka, and Salah. Would you go in Mbumo to Son or just roll? Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind Mbumo to Son. I'm not massive on Son, but I think he's probably better than Mbumo. Yeah, Callum. It depends on how you're going to get him in, though. Oh, Joe D's, man. Look at that. Why? When you've typed this in 5 times. The more you type it in, the less likely I am to read your comment, by the way. Who does everyone support? Bristol City and Man United, mate. And who is your main man at your club? Probably Bruno Fernandes and a guy called Jason Knight at Bristol City. Thoughts on swapping Mbumo for Semenyo to free up money for Son to Salah? Yeah, I don't mind it, you know. I think if I were to replace Mbumo, it'd probably be for... Let's see. If I did that, what does my team look like? If I did that, what could I do with my team? If I did Mbumo to Semenyo, what could I do with my team? What could I do with my team? Not a great deal, to be fair. I want to downgrade someone else, really. Yeah, not a great deal. Doesn't really help me a lot doing that. I just have a feeling that those Spurs midfielders are just going to get rotated like crazy throughout the Christmas spell. I don't think there's anyone you can tell me is nailed on. That's what I quite like about my team, is that maybe João Pedro's the least minutes worthy, but my team of midfielders and forwards, they're all nailed on to start, and once 6 of 7 will take penalties. I just really like it. I just can't justify getting rid of any of these players. Palmer scoring all of them, Tom. I think Jackson will probably get a goal as well. Thoughts on Iwobi or Kluivert as a rotation enabler with Rodgers allows me to get Saka as a potential threat. It just depends. Like I wouldn't, if I have to start all of Iwobi, Kluivert, and Rodgers, I wouldn't feel too happy. I think Rodgers is a great option. Greaves, mate. I'd go for Greaves. I've kept Greaves all this time as well. Mbumo to Son and Isak to someone cheaper than a 7.4. Who could it be? It's Strand Larson, Wissa, João Pedro, or Chris Wood. Those four, mate. Or Avin Nielsen as well, to be fair. What's going on with these? Yeah, I think he took a knock. I think he's probably gonna miss the Liverpool game though. I agree, Evil Khan. I think they're all getting rotated. CJT, we had that at school. You'll enjoy it on Monday, mate. You'll go in and see all your pals, and then you won't see them again until after Christmas. Just think of it as an opportunity to have fun with your mates for one last time before Christmas, or the mates that you probably won't see outside of school. That's what I always used to think the last day of school was. Big ups, FPL. I hope you're doing well, mate. Happy Sunday. Thanks for having me on yesterday. It was an absolute pleasure. One thing, I watched it back and I was talking over you quite a bit. So I just want to apologise for interrupting and talking over you, man. I didn't mean it. I feel like you build... it just takes time to build rapport with someone over like a Zoom call, and then you stop cutting over them after a bit of time. So I just need to come on more, mate. Saka essential. I can't get him, mate. I'm gutted, but I can't buy him. I think Saka is only essential if you're going to captain him. Is Odegaard a good shout for an Mbumo replacement? If not, who do you recommend? By the way, if you haven't already, leave a like on the stream. 195 people watching currently, which is huge. I'm very appreciative. Give us a like. It'd be nice to get 100. If you get 100 likes before the stream ends, I'll be over the moon. You have a link to that FPL stream. I should probably find one. Bear with. By the way, if anyone hasn't already, FPL is a legend. A legend of the FPL community who goes live, I think, pretty much every day because he loves the game so much. And I would say his live streams are better than mine. I need to learn a thing or two from him. He does some fantastic streams. Here's his channel. I shall link it. Give him a sub. Like the stream, give him a sub. That's what I ask of you. You just read my comment and then ignored it. All right, mate. Well, I've spoken about Isak a lot this stream. And I also did say I think he misses the Liverpool game, so I didn't ignore it. Unless it was a different comment. I wouldn't replace Mbumo. And is Odegaard a good shout? Maybe Odegaard. Sorry, I can't like twice. Don't worry, man. I appreciate it. Johnny Boy, that's total justification to get rid of him then, isn't it? Total justification to get rid of him. Bowen in instead of Mbumo. I'd just keep Mbumo. I'd just keep Mbumo. There's two players I'd probably replace Mbumo with, almost definitely, and that's Son and Saka. Other than that, I probably wouldn't do it. Bowen is the best player in FPL. He blanked last week, didn't he? He literally just blanked. Yeah, didn't do anything. I guess it was Arsenal, but still. Come on, bro. We've got 182 people watching here. You can't expect me to read every single comment. That's a bit unrealistic, I think, my friend. Oh, Tom, I've spoken about Mbumo loads. How long have you been on the stream, man? I've said it loads. You're telling me he's got bad fixtures, but are these really bad? Like Aston Villa, they've not. How many clean sheets have Aston Villa got this season? Newcastle. How many clean sheets have Newcastle got this season? Chelsea. How many clean sheets have Chelsea kept this season? Nottingham Forest. That's probably the toughest of the next 5. And then they got Brighton. From January the 1st, I'll agree they're bad. Arsenal, Southampton, Man City, those are terrible. But for the next 5, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. The only replacements in my mind for Mbumo are more expensive. So if you can upgrade him, great. But other than that, I keep him. Yeah, but I think that super wide positioning of Mbumo might change because I've heard rumours that Thomas Frank will play him up front against tougher teams. It's just my opinion, though. Huge dreamers canvas. I wouldn't sell Mbumo. I'd probably bench Isak, but it depends who you bench him for. I think he'll be potentially back for 14 or 15. Yeah, I agree, Alex. I just don't see an easy replacement for Mbumo that's cheaper or the same price. Interested in the Rodgers pick? What, me having Rodgers? Yes, I've had him since game week 6, mate. Yeah, Andy, that's fair enough. I agree, Majd. Do you think Greaves will play against Crystal Palace? Maybe. I just don't know, to be honest, mate. Sorry, I can't give you a straight answer because I don't think anyone can give you a straight answer on that. Genuinely don't. It depends, Dreamer's Canvas, in terms of who you can bench. I think, for me, if I were to replace Isak, I'd go for someone dirt cheap and upgrade elsewhere. Pete, that's not a bad set of transfers, to be fair. I keep saying, if you can sell Mbumo for Saka, do it. But I just don't see another easy transfer. No, Tom. I wouldn't replace any of them, mate. Yeah, Alex, I totally respect your opinion, man. I think, and hopefully I've explained that all the way through. I cannot deny that there's not justification to sell him, but I also think there's a reasonable justification to keep him as well. You could go either way on him. Yeah, sure, Sadale, but again, I think Mbumo's a good option too. I could do that, but maybe. But then I'd have, if I downgraded Mbumo, I'd be having to start 2 budget midfielders every week, which doesn't fill me with joy, I've got to say. I agree, Ocean. I still think he's the best option. It's just a matter of time before he scores goals. He'll get a penalty or something next week, even if he doesn't put up very good numbers. Should we sell Palmer? Mate, he hasn't played yet. How can you be selling Palmer? What if he scores hat-trick today? What's your opinion going to be then? That's very knee-jerky, mate. Just keep your patience. And then he's got Southampton in game week 14, by the way. I agree, Alex. I agree. That's absolutely huge, 70 points. One-way ticket to the pain train. Indeed, man. You don't want to be selling that guy. He'll score 2 penalties against Villa next week. That's what he'll do. It's, again, I go back to, I always say this about luxury. People are probably bored or sick of me saying this. But I don't like making luxury transfers in FPL, and I've done 2 of them this week. I did Guardiola to Timber and João Pedro. Sorry, Raul Jimenez to João Pedro. 2 transfers I shouldn't have done because they're luxury transfers. And what I mean by a luxury transfer is selling one player who is a decent option. Guardiola, from his attacking threat, is a decent option. Raul Jimenez, he's gotten unlucky in recent games not to return, I think. So they're both decent options. And I sold them for 2 other decent options who are going to play every game just because I thought they're going to score more points. 50% of the time I do that, I think it backfires on me and I just as well stick with what I had. Those kind of luxury transfers just don't pay off. And I think selling Mbumo is going to be one of those occasions. He's going to play every game. He's going to be on the pitch for 90 minutes and he's going to take penalties. And it's the last time I talk about Mbumo because I'm going to sign off in a second. I look at the fixtures and people are telling me these are bad fixtures. And I just don't agree. I don't think Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea, Forest, Brighton is a terrible fixture run. I don't think it's that bad. From January the 1st onwards, there's real justification to get rid of him. Definitely. Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, that's disgusting. But those next 5, I don't think it's that bad. That's the last thing I'm going to say about Mbumo. I feel relieved. I'm not going to mention Mbumo's name again. By the way, big shout out to Alex. You need to start a YouTube channel, Alex. You probably hit 100. You probably hit 1,000 subscribers by Christmas if you just kept saying you're 3rd in the world overall. I can help you if you want some help making a channel, mate. We'll just give a shout out to Alex H in the chat here. Look at him. Absolute legend. 3rd in the world. I see what you mean about dropping a rank, yeah. You probably are. No matter what happens, you probably are, aren't you? Hopefully Salah goes big, mate. I went for him as well. Yeah. Well, if you'd be up for it, Alex, I'd be very happy to interview you, mate. But I don't want to pressure you because you sound a bit just like you don't want to come on YouTube, which is totally cool. But you'd be most welcome to come on the channel, my friend, if you wanted to. I just don't want to pressure someone to put their face and name out on the internet if they don't want to. It's someone's total freedom to do what they want. So I don't want to make someone feel pressured about it. I hope he wins it too. I want to have Havertz. I don't have any Arsenal players, so I sell Mbumo and I get Matoma. Should I have -4 to sell Wood and get Havertz? Nah. I wouldn't sell Wood. I'm really... myself, mate, I use the same argument I did for Mbumo for Chris Wood. I'm really struggling to sell him. I look at these fixtures that Chris Wood's got coming up and I just don't think they're that bad. Current form that Man City are in, come on, he can score in that one. He can score against United, he can score against... I think he can score in all of those games. So for me, I'm a little bit hesitant to get rid of Chris Wood. He's making it really hard for me to sell him. And just look at his stats this season. 9 goals from 12 starts. That's incredible. He's the best cheap forward in the game in terms of stats, right? Everyone's going on about Cunha. Last week they were big on Cunha, João Pedro. 9 goals from 12 starts for this guy. I wouldn't be like... if you're getting an Arsenal player to replace another good player, I just don't think it makes sense. You know what? I really like the idea of triple captaining Cole Palmer next week against Southampton. If he does well this week, I think it's going to be hard pressed not to triple captain him against Southampton. And same with Salah. You can triple captain Salah. There are 4 players in the game, right, who I think are captain/triple captain options. Haaland, Salah, Palmer and Saka. Maybe Son, but I don't think Son's been quite at that level this season. Those are the 4, and I think you could justify one game week at some point this season triple captain in any of them. I really do. That's totally cool, Alex, mate. Totally cool, my friend. It's just great to have you in the chat. That's totally cool, man. You do you, mate. I don't want to put any additional pressure on you at the moment. That's totally cool. Yeah, just if you, I tell you what, I don't know if you have Twitter. Just you join most of my streams and watch my videos, don't you? If you want to come on the channel, just give us a shout in the comment when you feel ready, mate. There's no pressure from me. No pressure from me at all. I don't think I'm going to sell Aina either. I've got to say, like, he's kept a clean sheet against Liverpool, so I think I just have to keep him. I can bench him most weeks, but Palmer blanks a lot. Say that about anyone, mate. Salah's had periods of time in his career where he's blanked a lot. He hasn't done so much this season. I think Watkins is good. I'd probably keep Isak unless if I could bench him for someone, but otherwise I would I'd get rid. I've messaged Raptor about going on again, mate, but he's, I'd imagine, a very busy man. So yeah, let's wait for him to get back to me. Hopefully we can go on again. It was a real shame that got cancelled, but what can you do? Right, I'm going to have to sign off now because I have to get ready to go home for a roast dinner. Been live for an hour and a half. I hope everyone enjoyed that. Nice little reaction ahead of for Gameweek 13. I will go live again after the final game of the week has finished. 24 points for Galactic Cantic, mate. Me too. I'm sorry that you're joining just as I finished. I appreciate you being here. So yeah, I'm going to sign off now if that's okay, guys. I'll be live again. What time would that be? I'm going to try and play a blinder this evening, right? So I'm going to record a video to go out at 7 p.m. and then I'll be live from 6 to 7 p.m. doing a reaction. So straight after Liverpool City, I'll go live and then I will do a video to go out at 7 p.m. after that finishes as well. So hopefully we'll play a blinder this afternoon. I'm going to take my laptop with me to my parents' house while me and my dad are watching the Chelsea Villa game. I'm going to do the graphics for an Ultimate Guide video and then I'll go live at 6 when the Liverpool Man City game's finished. That's my plan. That is my plan. So yeah, I appreciate you all joining. Please leave me a like rating. How many are we on? Are we on 100 yet? 100 likes would be incredible. What are we doing? Final total. 92. Come on, 8 more likes. Get us to 100. 176 people watching. 94. Climbing. See you soon, RTS. I'm going to stick around and see if we can hit 100 likes. Come on. 95. They're climbing. Yeah, Tom. Game week 19 against Leicester could be good. They'll have a new manager by that point. Well, they do. They got Rude, haven't they? Oh, I can't lean off the screen to wipe my nose when I'm on the full screen one. You guys saw that? Oh, well. Hey, you too, Alex, mate. Good luck today. Let's hope Salah goes big so we're not punished too much. 102. Cheers, guys. I appreciate that. What a morning. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Have a good weekend. Well, have a good day. I'll speak to you at 6.